Alright, y'all. This chapter is chapter 8. It's called Kadada. If anybody don't know who Kadada is, or Kadida, however you say her name, it's Quincy Jones' daughter. She used to date, I think she was one of, if not the, in all caps, the last girlfriend Pac had before his untimely unaliving. So yeah. And once again, I don't know these people. This is all for entertainment purposes. This is allegedly her book, and we just listening to the audio.
Kadada Jones was Tupac Shakur's fiance and the daughter of a record producer, Quincy Jones, and actress Becky Lipton. Being around other celebrities was just a part of life. Meeting Kadada was just one of those events, and as time went on, we became close. We hung out together, went shopping, and so on. It was just about the same time that I met Kimora. Those were the days, or so I thought. We always had girl talk, and the fact that she was dating someone I had previously been with wasn't a source of contention. We didn't get jealous of each other. It was just girl talk stuff. No, I did not become intimate with Kadada. Kimora was too jealous for that. Yes, Kadada knew about Kimora, Sean, and I all being together sexually. Of course she did. We shared that kind of thing. We were open and honest with each other about almost everything. A true friendship, except I couldn't be open and honest about everything. Not anymore. Sean made sure of that. Kadada and Pac were the greatest couple. He was always so cool and yes, sexy. She was so beautiful and fun. Before all the tension and beef, we used to all hang out together, and it was always dope vibes. But Pac's shooting and the suspicions surrounding Sean and Jimmy, the vibes between Kadada and I weren't always perfect. Then came that night. Award shows weren't anything new for us at this point. We were all dolled up, and the men groomed. We didn't choose what we wore, and stylists prepared our color palettes, and makeup artists did our makeup, and hairstylists did our hair. That's just the way of things. We shared the best stylists in the business. Sometimes we would all go to the studio for an event to get our measurements taken, but this time Kadada seemed different. I felt like something was wrong. But when I probed, she wouldn't say anything. Then the day of the event was here. We would all see each other inside. Even though Sean was my man, as far as props, I had nothing on Kadada. Being Quincy Jones's daughter had perks, and superstardom was among them. Aka wasn't there. She saw us, she came over to our table. She sat around kicking it in a very dope vibe. Sean knew he was going to clean up in this award show. He had all but taken over the East Coast, musically. With all the hits, there really being no way he wouldn't. Bad Boy is a Hall of Fame stuff now, and Sean P. Diddy Combs knew it. Sean smiled at Kadada as she sat at our table, but something about the smile didn't seem authentic. Soon I would know why. He's sick when he has a grudge against someone. As she sat, Sean said, Bad Boy is gonna clean the fuck up. From his table with Faith, Chris replied, Hell yeah. And that new shit we busted out gonna have these niggas sick. Kadada signaled for the waiter to pour her glass of ginger ale that sat over at her table. As the waiter refreshed her drink, she said, Fox Music's gonna get some love too.
Switch to TurboTax and file your own taxes free in the app if you didn't file with us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do It Yourself by February 28th. Download now.
Cause everywhere we go,
I was not the place I wanted to be, but I worked for it. Like I worked to be where I really wanted to be. I really want.
Sean grimaced. Oh, come on, Sean. I know y'all got your differences, but you have to admit, the man makes great music. Sean looked at me, the corner of his eye, then took another sip of his favorite cognac, and replied, Bad Boy got the hottest music on the fucking planet, but I'm tripping. Everybody gotta get their shine, right? Kadada sighed. Sean, Tupac thinks you're involved with him getting shot. You two were so close. You need to make this right. Sean responded indignantly. Why the fuck would that nigga think I had anything to do with it? Kadada retorted. Sean, can you blame him? Sean was obviously not happy with the question by his reply. Hell yeah, I blame him. We had a good thing going. All of us. That nigga turned on me and he has the fucking balls to blame me for his shooting? The indignity he mangled to spew out while lying through his teeth was something I did not expect. I was thrown back for a moment before interjecting. Da, do we have to have this tonight? It's Sean's big night. Kimora heard the ruckus and made her way over to our table as well. She sat down and said, Hey everybody, that big dimpled smile. I smiled and replied, "Hey." Kadada also seemed happy to see her as well. She said, "Hey, what's up, Kimmy?" Kimura, never the type to hold her tongue, went straight at it. "The whole place is buzzing with the fact that you're sitting over here accusing Sean of having pot shot. Y'all kinda loud." She laughed. Kadada seemed embarrassed as she looked around to see everybody staring and whispering, but she wasn't about to back off. In fact, she doubled down. "Anybody here not talking about it ain't real anyway. We all know Sean was behind it." Kimura forced a smile. "Honey, we don't have to do this here." Kadada made clear that she was not going to be silenced as she continued. "Oh, let's not hurt the feelings of Sean Puffy Combs. He only had one of the most prolific rappers in the game shot." Sean clenched his hands into a fist. If this was anyone else, this would have turned ugly, but this was Quincy Jones's daughter. Sean was a monster in the streets, well feared by men that he knew, but he did not want any of the smoke Quincy Jones could bring. Kadada could continue with impunity. Sean could not touch her. Christopher and Mary, both wanting to defend the super producer that made them famous, both started to stand and make their way over to the table. But Sean signaled them off with a firm motion of his hand. They remained in their seats, watching helplessly. Kadada seemed to be on a full rampage. "You're not safe in the street, Sean. You think you're untouchable." Kimura seemed almost red in the face when she grabbed Kadada by the hand, saying, "I gotta go to the restroom." Kadada, not willing to stop, snatched her hand away, yelling, "Let go of me." Kimura needed her to get a grip and said sternly, as a parent speaking to a child, mid-tantrum, "Da." Kadada turned to her and yelled, "What?" Kimura nodded, and toward the crowded room, Kadada looked around. Here she deflated slightly, but more now in control, spoke firm but softly, "Let's go powder our nose." Kadada nodded with a grimace and gave a sharp look back at Sean as she walked away. Lots of action there. As the tension slowly melted away, I asked Sean, "You okay?" Sean didn't reply at first. He looked around, saw that no one was really paying attention now. The ruckus had died down, and stood to get the picture of ginger ale from Kadada's table. He poured himself a drink from it, looked around again, saw no one paying attention, and put the picture under the table. What was he doing? Then I heard a distinct sound of liquid being poured into the liquid. Oh my God, liquid poured into the liquid is funny. "Peeing in the pitcher?" He smiled at me as he brought the pitcher back from under the table and finally replied to me, "I'm good." He then stood and returned the picture to the table. I was in awe. I knew he had a bad temper, but this was disgusting. I'll never eat and drink something after we have an argument again. Kadada and Kimura made their way back to Kadada's table to sit. As Sean watched on quietly, Sean made small talk. "Which songs do you think that they'll give me awards for?" Super narcissist. As Kadada poured her drink, Sean's bodyguards made their way over to the table. I think he stopped her from drinking as everyone just sat and watched. Jane risked incurring Sean's wrath. "If I'm right," revealed, I replied, "Babe, your catalog's about to be crazy. It could be a lot of songs." Sean glared at Kadada's table the entire night. Chapter 9.